Hello, I'm Craig Brelsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with the executives of two public companies. First up is Bullfrog AI. Bullfrog AI is transforming drug development with Bullfrog Data Networks, a scalable, AI-driven platform powered by its proprietary BFRG engine. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Bimergen Energy. Bimergen Energy Corporation is a publicly traded, independent power provider and project developer focused on utility-scale battery energy storage systems, or BESS, assets. The company owns 23 development-stage BESS projects with a cumulative capacity of about 2.0 gigawatts. Bimergen's growth strategy centers on securing project financing, advancing construction, and partnering with institutional counterparties to operate under long-term offtake agreements, ensuring stable, contract-backed revenue streams. We'll learn more when we speak with the co-CEO later in the show. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small-cap stock analysis.
A new era of small cap research has arrived with RedChip's RedChat, the fastest, most accurate AI assistant for small caps. The days of spending hours sifting through press releases, 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, 13Fs, 13Gs, and other filings is over. Now, get answers in seconds on 4,000 small cap stocks in one portal. Simple, fast, accurate, detailed answers. Meet small caps with RedChat.
Now, let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. Work hard, be a long-term thinker, develop tenacity, and remember, nothing happens without taking calculated risks. This quote comes from Phil Sassower of Phoenix Group, and it is featured in Chapter 9 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the micro-cap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now let's get started with our first interview today with Bullfrog AI. Hello, we're here with Vin Singh, the CEO of Bullfrog AI. Vin, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be with you today. Thank you.
Bullfrog is redefining drug discovery and development with AI. What makes your approach unique in this rapidly evolving field?
Well, look, I think there are three factors that contribute to our uniqueness and our success thus far. One is our team, one is technology, and one is data. Our team, so we have a lean company, but extremely talented. Majority of our team are PhDs and MDs. They've done an amazing job thus far. On the technology side, we have proprietary AI from the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab. This is protected by intellectual property. This is a superior technology. It's a proven technology. And we're very, very excited about that. And the last thing is data. We've had exclusive access to some one-of-a-kind data from the Lieber Institute for Brain Development, and we've made some amazing discoveries from that data. We've identified novel drug targets that we believe are the drivers of neuropsychiatric disorders. So it's a combination of those three factors.
Now, Vin, the pharmaceutical industry is facing rising costs and long development cycles. How does Bullfrog AI's technology help to solve those challenges and change the economics of drug discovery and development?
Yeah, I mean, the drug discovery and development process is very long, very high risk, and very expensive. So using our technology, we're really operating at two ends of the spectrum. The early stage with drug target discovery, and then the final stage with late stage clinical trial optimization. And we've had tremendous success on both ends. But using our technology and approach, what we're able to do is improve the odds for success and reduce the time needed to get to those next milestones. As with our drug target discovery work with the Libra Institute data, we very quickly identified a reservoir of very valuable targets that we think can be game changers for the world of neuropsychiatric drug development. And then on the clinical trial end, we recently completed a project with Alazon Pharmaceuticals. The details of the data that came out, the results that came out of that are embargoed because Alazon was so excited about the results they wanted to submit it to one of the top oncology conferences as an abstract. So it's right now it's embargoed, but needless to say, the results were incredibly exciting. And this was looking at phase 3 pancreatic cancer data. Very, very difficult disease, difficult situation. And we got results. They want to move ahead and look at a second contract with us. Everybody's very happy at this point.
Then your global collaboration with Signature Discovery seems like another major catalyst. How will that partnership accelerate commercial adoption, and what is the expected revenue impact?
Yeah, so we have Bullfrog data networks. This is where we can build networks. It's a Palantir style model for companies using their data or combining with public data. And we decided it would be great to work with a world class partner that has a global commercial team that can sell this solution. And Signature Discovery is a top tier CRO based in the UK, and they selected us out of all the potential AI partners out there. And now their global sales team is selling Bullfrog data networks. So allows us to rapidly scale sales, ramp sales, without having to build a giant commercial team for ourselves. And they've started that process. I think this will be the first full quarter that they're selling, Q4. And I expect, in the beginning, that ramp can be slow, but then, you get that momentum and traction and things will take off. We are estimating up to 30 million in revenue over the next 3 years, cumulative, through this partnership. And, we're really excited about it.
As you mentioned, Vin, Bullfrog has some exclusive collaborations with world class institutions such as the Lieber Institute, as well as the J. Craig Venter Institute. How do these partnerships strengthen your competitive moat and help validate your platform?
Well, look, these are top tier institutions. So, by virtue of the partnership, it's validation because they can work with anyone they want. With the Lieber Institute, especially, we had exclusive access to their data. And remember, they have the world's largest repository of brains, thousands of brains of neuropsychiatric patients. And they entrusted us with that data. And we made amazing discoveries. And we're going to market with those discoveries. We're talking to numerous pharmaceutical companies. We're under NDA with many pharmaceutical companies. We're, talking about statements of work with multiple pharmaceutical companies. So these relationships were really a tremendous stepping stone to get us to this next stage. And I'm very optimistic about getting something done this quarter. We've been working on these for a while, and they do take time, but I think we're in the final innings.
Your Bullfrog Data Network Solutions Library was designed for enterprise scalability across global cloud platforms. How does that flexibility support adoption by both large and mid sized life sciences companies?
Yeah, so I think, when you're talking about the types of data that we're looking at, scalability is really important because you may be dealing with a relatively small data set or, something that's more, traditional AI size. And with our platform, we can scale without really any modifications. So we're able to meet the needs of really any company at any stage of development in the biopharma space. We're also able to operate in their environment, which is important because sometimes, well, maybe more often than sometimes, our customers, clients are very sensitive about their data. So the ability to operate in their cloud environment, I think, is a huge advantage. So these are the kinds of things we're doing. Also related to Bullfrog Data Networks is something called BF Prep. So we have what we believe is a very unique, one-of-a-kind data preparation solution, because having AI-ready data is the key to leveraging AI and extracting maximum value. Right now, most companies do not have AI-ready data. We can help them, and we can help them very quickly. We've done it in incredibly complex, messy situations, and even including handwritten notes and things like that. So we got this, library of solutions with Bullfrog Data Networks, BF Prep, and we can provide support and really add tremendous value at different stages of discovery and development.
As you mentioned before, Vin, Bullfrog AI is known for its lean and capital efficient operating model. How does that approach enable you to scale rapidly and extend your runway as you grow the business?
Well, look, we only burn about 6 million a year. Okay. So about 500,000 a month. And we can do that because what I talked about in the beginning, we have tremendous technology, we have great data, and we have a really talented team. Um, so when you have a low burn like that, you don't need to raise a lot of money when you do. But remember, we're very focused on generating revenue. We're not a biotech that's looking to hit that next development milestone where we may need money to get there. We're focused on generating revenue. And the nice thing is when we do get these bigger, partnership deals done, the economics are outstanding for us. It's not like we need to hire an army of people for a multi-million dollar program. You might need to hire maybe just a couple of people. So one of our data scientists has the ability to generate many millions of dollars in revenue for the company. So I think our model is strong, and it's one that is sustainable, and it keeps us out of bad situations where we see other companies in our sector that are spinning, pivoting, like laying off people and things like that. We don't have those concerns. We're very focused on, like I said, getting the cash flowing, getting past break even, and continuing to grow from there. And we'll probably be maybe the only AI company that can say something like that.
Final question, Vin. What is the essential value proposition? Why should investors take an interest in Bullfrog AI right now?
Well, I know investors are the first thing that they're focused on is risk. Okay. And I just said it. We're a low risk business. We don't burn a lot of cash. If we do need to raise money, we don't need to raise a lot of money. Okay. That's a key. The other piece is we have tremendous upside. We have, home run potential. The deals that we're trying to work on now with our discoveries and these other things that we're doing are all very, very, significant opportunities for us, and we'll, like I said, it'll take us to profitability and way beyond if we even get one of these deals done. Um, we're getting traction. We're getting a lot of interest. Every time we get these wins with signature, with a liaison, so on and so forth, we're getting more visibility, more credibility. So this is a really exciting time to get involved with Bullfrog as an investor.
Vin, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, to get more information on Bullfrog AI, visit bfrginfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Bullfrog AI. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip CEO featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $18. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small cap stock analysis.
A new era of small cap research has arrived with RedChip's RedChat, the fastest, most accurate AI assistant for small caps. The days of spending hours sifting through press releases, 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, 13Fs, 13Gs, and other filings is over. Now, get answers in seconds on 4,000 small cap stocks in one portal. Simple, fast, accurate, detailed answers. Meet small caps with RedChat.
Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Bimergen Energy. Hello, today we have Bob Brillen, the co-CEO of Bimergen Energy. Bob, great to have you today.
Great to be with you today. Thank you.
Bimergen has quickly established itself as a player in one of the fastest growing sectors of the energy market, utility scale battery energy storage. What sets you apart from other players in the space?
What makes us different is we're not a manufacturer. So we're really focused on the battery energy storage solutions. And in this case, what we're building are battery farms, if you will, or AKA BESS facilities. That's BESS facilities. And these BESS facilities are there to take energy when it's low demand, put it into its system, hold that energy until there's high demand, and sell it back at a much higher price. The key part of this, as us being different, is we also now have $250 million committed from equity project investors. These investors now give us the opportunity to go out and really bring on about $1 billion in debt for these projects. Why this is important is each 100 megawatts of power that's in, say, one project is going to cost us about $125 million to build that and have the batteries in place. This really puts on the land of about 10 to 30 acres, depending on how big the project is. We have 2 gigawatts of BESS projects that we acquired back in 2024. That's really got us to where we are today. That's 23 different locations throughout the United States.
Now, the demand for electricity is expected to surge, particularly from AI driven data centers and electrification trends. How is Bimergen positioned to capitalize on this massive growth in power demand?
You're very correct. The demand for energy is growing at a rapid pace. And the acquisition of these 2 gigawatts of BESS projects puts us at the forefront. We also hired Cole Johnson and his team, who have been in this business for many, many years. Over 40 to 50% of energy is currently wasted because it's generated at hydroelectric, solar, wind, but yet it's only there when it's needed to be used. We have the battery system that it is then stored when the demand isn't there, but then it's there to put into the grid when the demand rises.
Now, Bob, would you please walk us through how long term offtake agreements and services like frequency regulation and energy arbitrage create stable, recurring cash flows?
Well, this is key for us because we as Bimergen don't want to be in that trading business. We take the conservative approach of bringing off takers on board, and these are tier one blue chip partners. And these are agreements we put in place. We negotiate up front what the floor is and how much capacity they're going to have available from us. So we know exactly what our revenue streams are going to be. And there is an upside to that also if there is very high peak demand, but the off takers are taking that risk. And we, for our shareholders, have de-risked it by having a floor and an agreed to amount that will be put into our revenue stream.
I like that, Bob. You're the red chip client and you're serving the blue chip clients. Love it.
Exactly.
Now, you've emphasized capital efficiency by securing financing at the project level. How does this strategy minimize risk for shareholders while positioning the company for scalable growth?
Well, because these projects are very large projects, for example, one 100 megawatt project will cost about $125 million of equipment to be put in place in construction. And So with that, that enables us to go out and find very high level tier one institutional partners that will be putting up 80 to 90% of that capital. That means our shareholders aren't having to get diluted because that is actual debt. We bring in equity partners, as I talked before, the 250 million that's already been committed. They'll come in and absorb the other 10 to 20% of the equity piece to make our debt guys really feel comfortable. And that then gives Bimergen, our partners, a piece directly and indirectly of those projects without being diluted.
Bimergen's management team brings decades of experience across energy, finance, and capital markets. How does that collective expertise give investors confidence in your ability to execute?
Well, as most of us know in the industry, the majority of investors will really bet on the been there, done that management team. And that's what we have in place. We have everywhere from the capital markets experience all the way down to the nuts and bolts of the construction in this battery energy storage solutions facility.
In summary, Bob, give us the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in Bimergen right now?
Well, Bimergen is unique in that we have all the pieces in place. The $250 million commitment for this equity capital is that last piece of the puzzle that we needed to go out and get operations and construction beginning. We will start that construction of these projects almost immediately, and then operations will be following suit during 2026. And you don't get any closer than this to a ground floor. The company at this point has been public, but it also has been very quiet on the investor relations scene. Right now is the time for us to go out and talk about what we're doing. And it's because we do have that 250 million in place, it means we're going to now go execute. And our plan is to continue to communicate to our investors what the progress is. And then, as it makes sense, make sure that we have the investors fully in tuned as we get operational and as we execute.
Sounds really good, Bob. Welcome to RedChip, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, to get more information on Bimergen Energy, visit bimergeninfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Bimergen Energy. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met Bullfrog AI, BFRG on the NASDAQ. Bullfrog AI is transforming drug development with Bullfrog Data Networks, a scalable, AI-driven platform powered by its proprietary BF Leap engine. Learn more at www.bfrginfo.com. Then you met Bimergen Energy Corporation, BESS, on the OTCQB. Bimergen Energy Corporation is a publicly traded, independent power provider and project developer focused on utility-scale battery energy storage systems, or BESS, assets. The company owns 23 development-stage BESS projects with a cumulative capacity of approximately 2 gigawatts. Bimergen's growth strategy centers on securing project financing, advancing construction, and partnering with institutional counterparties to operate under long-term offtake agreements, ensuring stable, contract-backed revenue streams. Learn more at www.bimergeninfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry. It has every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industry. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please, always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.